Hello everyone, and thanks again for listening to this episode. I have a couple things to talk about before you guys can listen to the episode. The first thing is that Maddie and I talk about a lot of different spoilers from many different fandoms. Some of them include Star Wars and the MCU, so just a little heads up before you listen. The next thing is that I changed where I filmed the podcast, so the audio is a lot better. But we are louder. We talk really loud in this podcast, and with that, you can also hear my fan going in the background because it could pick up my fan. So sorry about that, and if you find it annoying. The last thing is that Anchor got rid of my intro music that I normally play at the beginning. That's 3 seconds long. So, I'm sorry about the switch in music that you're about to hear, and probably for the rest of me having this podcast, I have to switch the music. I hope you guys enjoy. Hello, welcome to the Projection Project. My name is Rain. I'm your super awesome, epic, and cool host, and today I have with me Maddie.
Hello.
Whoop, 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 whoop. How do you feel?
I'm a little bit terrified, not even gonna lie. There's no reason for it.
It's scary, honestly. I don't know what it is about just, knowing that you're being recorded while, talking. It's kind of scary.
Yep.
But, you generally forget about it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine.
We'll be good, I hope.
It's gonna be good.
Alright, well, today we have super awesome, cool topics. Kind of controversial ones. So the first big one we're going to talk about is shifting cheating? It's been a really hot topic. It's been a really hot topic on Shifttok for the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say it's probably split 50-50. About how people feel.
Yeah.
So do you want to start about how you feel about it?
I have very strong opinions, so I do want to start off by saying that this is my opinion, and my strongest opinion is that whatever you believe is what you believe, and that's fine, but you can't impose your beliefs on other people. So I'm going to tell you my strong opinion on what I believe, but if you disagree, it's whatever, and I really don't care. You can believe whatever you want. Just as a disclaimer that I have to make on all of my videos. I do not think shifting is cheating in any sense of the word, and my biggest reason for that is because I view each reality as separate lives, and even myself in each reality is a different person. So as much as I'm connected to all my reality selves, me, Maddie, in this reality is not the same as Madeline in my Bridgerton DR, and Madeline is not the same as Maddie in my Marvel DRs, or Stella in my Star Wars DRs. We're all living our own lives. So for me to be dating Colin Bridgerton and Kylo Ren, that's two different people dating two different people. I don't think it's cheating.
I
don't know.
I'm with you in the same boat. I also don't think it's cheating. Piggybacking off of what you just said, I know almost everyone out there has more than one DR. If you think it's cheating, do you tell every single person who you're dating in every DR that you date other people in other realities? Think about that for a second, because y'all always think that you have to tell your partner, but are you going to tell every single partner that you have? Most likely no. So what's the point?
I do think it's a little bit different for your original reality partner, not for any good reason, but since I feel you spend most of your time with your original reality partner, if you are having serious feelings for someone else and you feel comfortable bringing up shifting to your partner, I think that's definitely a conversation you should have. But I'm not saying that if your partner doesn't like you shifting, you have to stop. But I think if you respect and love your partner and trust them, then it seems like something that I would want. I've never had a partner in this reality, so I can't speak from personal experience, but I feel if you are dating that person for a reason, you would want to tell them about shifting, and that's an important conversation to have a lot of times. But I don't think that it's cheating, or that you have to tell any reality partner that you're dating other people in different realities.
Yeah, I agree. Like 100%, because like you are living different lives. You're different people most of the time. You're not gonna be the same unless it's like the Marvel timeline and like it's like whatever. But like you're different people living completely different lives, dating completely different people. I feel like it doesn't make sense to tell your partner. Yeah. Unless you feel comfortable, unless you totally want to do it.
Yeah. I actually made a video on this subject pretty recently, and someone in the comments had a really insightful answer that was basically like, to them, they think cheating is taking time away from one partner to give to someone different. So if I were to date two people in this reality, some of the time that I could have spent with partner A, I'm spending with partner B. So that's why it was cheating to them, is because you're not giving your entire romantic attention to the person who thinks that they're getting your entire romantic attention. So if you're dating people in different realities, you're not losing any time with one partner to be with another. You're still living out full lives with both partners. I'm not sure if that makes sense. It made a lot more sense when they commented it, but something about splitting your time made a lot of sense to me.
I get what that person's saying, and I get why they think that. But the science isn't sciencing. Like, that's not how shifting works. If you think that way. That's what I'm saying
is like... Wait, what do you mean?
Like, if you, like, shifting, you're all the lives are happening at once. If most people, by the way, believe in the multiverse theory, if you believe in the multiverse theory, all these lives are happening at once. That means that you're not missing out on anything with them, because you're already
that's
with
the point.
This is just more evidence.
That's the point. Yeah. Because like if I were to date two people in one reality, I couldn't spend as much time with either of them because I'm splitting my like romantic time or whatever with two people. But like in different realities, you're not splitting any kind of time because you've got a whole life to live with them, you know? I don't think I'm explaining this well, but more or less.
I feel like I get why sometimes people think that, but like this is just something I cannot get behind. Like normally I can see like, I mean I kind of can see both sides, but like I'm not gonna hop on the bandwagon that I think it's cheating, because in my opinion you can debunk the cheating side rather than the non-cheating side. That's just me though.
And again, I think that everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and like if you feel icky about dating more than one person, then don't date more than one person. But my biggest issue is when people are like, shifting is cheating, period, and then they get mad at other people who are dating more than one person in different realities. Like, you can't say that I'm cheating on my partner just because you think that I'm, like, you know, that's not something that you can have an objective opinion on, I don't think.
Yes, I agree, especially when they come into like creators' comments and say that. Like, last time I checked, you're not their partner, you're not their parent, and like you're not their partner from the other reality. So like, who are you to say that?
Yes, I agree. I think we're on the same page.
You and me, we're like, what is that?
Yes.
We're on the same wavelength. There we go.
Yes. I like your description.
So,
that does make sense.
I don't know why I couldn't remember what it was called. But yeah, I didn't realize how often that happens in comments until I saw it in it was in Cass's comment section. I was
gonna bring that up too.
That's what I saw it the most, and people were like commenting out the wazoo on her comment section. I'm like, oh my god, you guys, leave her alone. She's a grown woman.
Yeah. I feel like the second people find out that shifters have partners in this reality, they're like, oh my god, you're cheating on them. I can't believe you would cheat on your boyfriend. Does your boyfriend know about shifting? Like, yeah, they wouldn't be talking about their boyfriend and shifting. Like, even Cass has said, if my boyfriend didn't like me shifting, I wouldn't do it. Why do you have to insert yourself in other people's relationships when it's none of your business? I don't understand that part.
Exactly. Like, Cass has even talked about, like, how she tells her boyfriend stuff that happens in her DR because her boyfriend's interested. Like, okay, if my partner ever shifted, I would be so interested in hearing what would happen in their reality.
Yes.
Like, that'd be so fun.
I want someone I know in real life to shift so that I can, like, ask them experiences about it, you know?
Exactly. Like,
I think
whenever...
it'd be so cool.
This is me plugging my own podcast. Go listen to My Sister Shifted ? It's one of, like, that's like the 7th episode or something. Whenever my sister accidentally shifted, I asked her so many questions, and then I asked her more on the podcast that I didn't ask before, and like my mind was blown. Like, I loved talking about it in person. It was so fun.
Yeah. I think the most important thing to remember when like talking about is shifting cheating is that every person has their own individual opinion and experience, and this question is not something that you can objectively say this is wrong of you to do. Like, there aren't very many things in regards to shifting that you can say this is objectively bad, this is objectively wrong. Like, there are exceptions to that, obviously, but is shifting cheating is not something that you can say, yes, shifting is cheating, that's wrong, or no, shifting is not cheating, it's perfectly fine. Like, it's every person's own opinion.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, if anyone wants to become friends with either one of us in real life, hit us up.
Yes, please.
Only requirements, you have to live in...
Go check out our TikTok.
Yeah. If you guys live in the US, hit us up.
Yes.
Okay. Still kind of on the dating topic, unless you have more things to say about this.
I don't think so.
Okay. Still kind of on the dating topic. And you also recently talked about this on your account. But I've had, like a couple of things to say about this. But, like, I didn't realize some people were against this until recently. Dating morally gray and villain characters.
Dun, dun, dun.
Whoa.
Spooky sounds.
How do you...
Yeah, I get so many people in my comment sections judging me for who I shift for. Like, so many people. It's insane. There's also the conversation to be had about adults and minors that I get a lot of issues with, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I get a lot of people from that side of the debate. I get a lot of people from... I shift for Kylo Ren and the Darkling are probably, like, the quote-unquote worst people that I shift for. And I made a video pretty recently talking about some of my DRs that I was most excited for and who I was shifting for, and someone just commented, the Darkling? Are you kidding me? And I went off. I made a whole video.
I saw that video.
I made a whole video.
That was part of the reason why I was like, we should make this as a topic.
Yes. And that's not the first time that it's happened to me either.
So many people shift for Kylo Ren. I don't get why that's like a big issue all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, people shift for villains all the time. Guys.
So many people shift for Draco Malfoy. I'm not saying he's a villain, but you can't tell me he's a good person.
Exactly.
And still, you don't see people jumping on Draco shifters. It's always the Kylo Ren shifters or the Darkling shifters. Why not Draco?
And a lot of people
shift for Snape.
What is that like 001 from Stranger Things most recently?
Yeah. People are going out of their way to make him okay. And even Billy from Stranger Things. People are like, I would date Billy. I'm like, he's literally a racist. Like, what? People are insane. But I don't see anyone making videos about how it's wrong to date those characters.
Oh, and also, if you're interested in getting into Star Wars spoilers in 3, 2, 1, also people who shift for Anakin Skywalker, if they're going to keep him, as Darth Vader.
Yeah. I don't.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't...
Listen, as much as we're saying that, like, these characters are bad characters, there's still nothing wrong with shifting for them. In my opinion, I just need to say I don't find anything wrong with shifting for characters who are, like, quote, bad guys in canon.
We were just listing, like, ones that are really popular that we see all the time. And suddenly people are jumping on the bandwagon that, like, you shouldn't shift for them. Like, oh, and, like, wait, never mind. That's not popular. I was gonna say someone, and I was like, wait, just kidding. Psych.
Never mind.
But, like, even, like, I guess morally gray characters, because I guess Wanda would technically now be a morally gray character.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
And a lot of people shift for Wanda. So,
a lot of people shift for Loki and Bucky, and they're definitely morally gray.
Exactly. Like, if you, like, anti-heroes, like the Punisher,
yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people go there, like, y'all can't say this and then contradict what you're saying.
Exactly.
Some of y'all are saying this.
And my biggest
Like, sorry.
Go ahead.
Some of y'all are like,
You're fine.
some of y'all are saying this stuff, not realizing it, that you're doing it yourselves, quote unquote.
Yeah. And my biggest issue is when people go straight for the accusations without asking any questions. And I feel like if people would just ask questions politely instead of accusing creators of stuff, so many problems on Shifttok could be solved. Like, so many problems. Because if the person who commented on my video had been like, how are you dating the Darkling? Isn't he a bad guy? I could have been able to explain how I changed his backstory and his motives. So, like, he's still not a great guy, but he's not the same version of the Darkling that you know from canon. Like, if you just ask a question, people love to talk about their DRs. I feel like pretty much anyone would be happy to tell you why they're shifting to date a certain person if you just ask. Why do you have to go straight for, I can't believe you're dating this person? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, generally most people are going to change the villain character so that they can fall in love with them somehow. They're like, also people who fucking date me and myself, Jason Todd, aka Red Hood, anti-hero. That kid is morally gray. A lot of DC characters are morally gray. So, but yeah, a lot of people are obviously going to change them. They're not going to keep them the same unless people really think that they could change them. Like, most people only say that as a joke. They don't actually think that they could change them, hopefully.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't changing jack squat about Anakin Skywalker. I'm sorry. Like,
accurate.
Like, you're not changing. Like, the only person, like, there are only a couple characters who could really change, like Kylo Ren being one of them. Because he, spoilers, sorry, he really did, he changed. Like, other ones are, like, don't technically change in canon, but they're gonna change the characters most of the time. Like, most people change Draco Malfoy.
Exactly.
Actually, I don't know if they've changed them, if they've only seen the movies. If they've read the books, they definitely change his character.
Absolutely. And a lot of times people like the Darkling. Like, I would never date the Darkling as he was written. That's the whole point, is that he's the bad guy of the books and the TV show. That's the whole point, is that he's a bad person. I don't like to date bad people. I change a lot about most of the people that I shift for, whether or not they're, like, morally gray or, quote, bad characters. Like, I don't know, and everyone's DR is different than canon in some way or another. Even if the only way it's different from canon is that the person who's shifting there is now included in the story. That changes so many things about the, like, canon or original material.
That's what I do for most of my DRs. Is I just I just plot myself in the plot.
Me too.
Except for a couple where, like, I, like, really change it.
Yeah.
But, like, we're not stupid. Like, why do people think, like, it's so bad? Like, what are you gonna do if I'm dating this bad character? Nothing. Yeah. You're gonna do nothing.
And honestly, even if you do take issue with who a creator is shifting for, block them. Don't feel like you need to go out of your way to leave mean comments on their videos. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to change their mind about who they're shifting for or the scenario that they're shifting to live out. So, like, why would you spend your time and energy commenting mean things when you could just block them because you don't want to see their content? That's fine.
Yeah. I definitely agree. So many people bash creators for, like, just talking about their DRs, and, like, people are always so excited to talk about their DRs. I'm like, don't bash them for something they're excited about, because then people get upset.
Exactly. And this is a little bit off topic, but I don't always see the same energy of coming for people who shift from morally gray characters. I don't always see that energy directed towards people who shift to, like, Criminal Minds, or even, like, Moon Knight. Those are kind of scary, bad places to be in. Quote unquote scary and bad. No one is like, you can't shift to Criminal Minds, it's too scary. But, like, you're gonna go into someone's page and say, you can't date Kylo Ren, he's a bad guy. Like, shifting to Criminal Minds is you literally dealing with murders on a daily basis, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. You can shift to wherever you want to shift to, but I don't always see the same kind of energy. And it seems kind of hypocritical to me.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying. Like, they're really similar. I know some people kind of, for a little bit, people were kind of bashing people shifting to Criminal Minds and not changing some stuff. And now,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see many people shift to Criminal Minds. I think it's because of how, I guess, quote unquote, like many dark themes there are in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we could definitely just be missing some trend on TikTok where, like, neither of us see the videos that are bashing Criminal Minds creators or whatever. We could just be missing that, and that could definitely be happening. But, like, I have Criminal Minds on my planned DRs list. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I don't know. I just feel like being hypocritical is something that I don't like ever.
Yeah, and Shifttok is, like, full of hypocrites. Oh, my goodness. It's bad.
It's so bad.
Oh, we've been, like, dipping our toes into this topic. My sister's gonna love that I just said that whenever she listens to this episode. You're welcome, Kieran. But recently, there have been a lot of creators leaving Shifttok.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know that, surprise! Yeah, a lot of creators have been leaving, and I don't think people realize this, but they're like pushing away their like favorite creators and big creators and like just creators that people love.
Yes.
What do you think about it?
Okay, I think there are kind of two categories of people who leave Shifttok, and I think that people leave for their own kind of reasons, and there's lots of reasons, but generally speaking, there's the people who leave because of a story that they told or something that happened in their DR that they shared, and then there's people who leave because of things that they don't share. So I feel like sometimes, like, who was that girl that got the dark mark for Draco or said she was going to get the dark mark?
Nazcaban?
Do you remember that? Yeah.
She's still here.
I feel like she came back.
Yeah.
But she left for a while because she shared that she was thinking about getting the dark mark. And people really got mad at her for that, which I'm going to leave my opinion on that out of it because
Me too.
that's a whole different topic. But like, yeah. But like, she left because of what she shared. Some people, like Alexa, who is BAU housewife right now, she left Snapchat, not TikTok, but she left Snapchat because she wasn't willing to share all about the things she was going through when figuring out her sexuality. People felt entitled to having an answer about certain things that she wasn't willing to answer, and so they kept saying so many mean things to her that she left. She was like, I'm not doing Snapchat anymore. It was fun while it lasted. Like, people are not happy either way with you sharing or not sharing about your DR. Someone's going to be unhappy either way.
Yeah, people generally ruin things, like, for everyone else. Like, there's always a small bunch that ruin things. Like, recently I had a mutual who just left. I know there were some things that happened. But, like, people get into, like, petty drama, like, and stupid drama that is, like, so dumb and is not needed, and then they share it. I'm like, listen, if you get involved in things, don't post it. Don't post it.
Yeah.
First of all, we don't care, one. And two, it's not important most of the time. For, like, I know, like, all that editor's drama that happened, like, we don't care. We don't care. Solve it on your own time. Because if you put it in front of an audience, it's going to cause more issues, and it's never going to get solved.
I completely agree. I feel like I say this all the time on my account, and just literally anytime I'm talking to anyone. So many things could be solved if people were willing to just have conversations without letting their feelings get too involved. Like, if you would just ask some questions, have a simple conversation in private. A lot of times is where you need to have conversations. But just have a conversation instead of blowing things out of proportion and, like, implying or assuming things about what other people are meaning. Like, just ask them directly, what do you mean by this? Mm-hmm. And that could solve so many issues.
Yeah, I remember, like, there was an account that got, like, pretty big really fast, and the accounts, I don't know if I should say the account's username, probably not. But, like, I loved the account. I know a lot of other people did, and it gave, like, great shifting advice, in my opinion, and then they talked about their DR and stuff like that. And apparently they were getting bullied so badly that they left. And I was so sad, and I'm sure so many other people feel that way, because they're, like, it was probably a lot of other people's, like, favorite account, or, like, one of their favorites accounts, too. Like, stop bullying your favorite creators off, because then you're going to ruin it for everyone else. Either they're not going to talk about fun things anymore, or they're going to leave.
I've even left before because mine was not really necessarily a Shifttok problem, but I took like a week-long break because one anti-shifter found my account, started implying that I was some type of terrible person, would not listen to any kind of reason, and then somehow brought a bunch of other anti-shifter friends to my account. And I was literally just so tired of dealing with it. I literally made a video crying, saying, this is too much, I haven't done anything wrong, why are you people being mean to me? And then I dropped off the face of the earth publicly for like a whole week. And who knows, that could have made me leave Shifttok forever. I might not have come back. Thankfully, I have really good friends who like helped me work through it, and I came back, but you never know what someone's going through or what is going to be someone's like last straw before they leave. So just try to be nice.
I know, because I know like way bigger creators and that stuff like talked about how they go through like a lot of bullying and like stuff like that, and they have talked about where like they almost hit their last straw, but then they like decide to come back. But like Maddie makes a good point. You really don't know what's going to be their last straw, and then they decide to leave, and then they will probably most likely not come back if that happens.
Yeah. I was just going to say, especially with the amount of mean comments that I see on big creators' accounts, like I'm surprised that more people haven't left, because they get so many either just pushy comments of like, tell us this story time a million times, or just like mean people saying things about their DRs like it's not a real life that they've lived. Like, I'm surprised more people haven't left. Honestly, y'all are mean.
I know, like the pushy one, especially, and also people like where creators make like important videos saying, hey, I'm gonna be gone for a couple days, or like something super important in their life, or like stressing in their life, or something like that.
Yeah.
And someone comments like, first, or can you give us the story time, or can you tell us about this character? Wrong time.
Yep.
No, don't ask for something like that.
Read the room.
Yeah, read the room. Thanks. Don't ask for stuff like that on like posts like relating to like stuff that you have going on in real life.
Yeah. And also kind of in that same vein, whenever someone shares something that was hard for them to go through in their DR, don't say stuff like just script it out. Don't do that.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
That's literally not fixing anything.
Yes. I've seen this happen to so many mutuals, so many other creators, and I feel so bad every time this happens. I've seen people like go through the Wizarding War, and people say, well, why didn't you just script it out? And I've seen people go through divorces, and they say, why didn't you just script it out? Guys, this is real life stuff. You don't prepare for stuff like this.
And I don't want to get into that drama that started whenever the World of Maya brought up scripting, where people were like, well, does scripting even work then? Scripting does work, but a lot of times you get to your DR and things don't work out the way you imagine them to, because it's a real life. It's a real place with real people, and things sometimes go badly or sideways like they do in this reality. Your DR is not perfect just because you scripted it or you shifted there. It's not going to be a perfect place. Things are going to happen that you weren't prepared for.
Yes, this like dives perfectly into like the next topic.
Yes.
Because a lot of people with that, so many people idolize their DR, and they generally don't realize that things can go wrong. Because it's just another life. Like, it's just, imagine this, but in another reality. That's what it is. And like, there are times where your coffee will turn out wrong, or you'll stumble and trip, or your car will get crashed into, or things like that. Like, that's gonna happen. Little things like that are gonna happen.
Yes. And a lot of people picture their DRs as being this perfect place because a character that they love is there. When you get to your DR, they're not a character. They're not some fictional person that you've been making up in your head. They're a real person. They're not always going to act the same as they're portrayed in that TV show or the book or the movie or the video game or whatever you, quote, got them from. They're going to be a real person. Sometimes they're going to have bad moods and they won't want to talk to you. Sometimes you're going to have lots of fun, just like you would in this reality. But like, it's such a balance that I don't think people realize. Just because you're scripting a place doesn't mean you're creating this perfect utopia. You're just choosing where to go.
Yeah, I think that, like, it doesn't really hit some people until creators talk about, like, bad things that, like breaking up with characters that they love, like, where people, like, start crying, and, like, or other characters passing away. Oh my god, that also makes me angry whenever people don't script out deaths, and then people were like, well, why didn't you just script it out? Because we want things to be natural. People are going to die.
Yeah.
People are gonna die.
Yeah.
Guys, come on. Don't you know how real life works?
I think there is a difference between not scripting out a death that happens and is going to happen and going in and causing more deaths. That's just my personal opinion. That's a whole different topic. I don't really know where I was going with that, but that's it.
Because, like, obviously, you can change whatever DR you're going to all that you want, but some people choose to go more the plot route, and I guess, I don't want to say watch people die, but have things happen the way that they are. Like, I'm one of those people, I know, like, I may regret having people die, but it's most of the time it's for a good reason, or they sacrifice themselves for a good reason, or for the cause.
Yeah.
And there's no other way. So, in my opinion, I have to keep it in because it's for the greater good. You know?
Yeah.
So.
And I think it's important to point out again that this is your opinion and my opinion, and that if you, and honestly we kind of differ there, because most of the time I do script out death. I'm not saying that you're, like, wrong for keeping it in, but I don't, no, just, like, I understand that my opinion is different than yours a little bit, and I don't care what you do in your DR, because it's your DR. It's not mine. I script out deaths because I don't want to go through it because of my own personal brain stuff. I don't know your personal brain stuff. You get to make your own decisions. You know, like, it's just that simple. And it's not like we're not friends anymore. We're going to get into an argument, fight it out. We're still friends. We still can chat about this stuff, even though, like, I scripted out Tony Stark's death. He doesn't die in my Marvel DRs. Technically Natasha does die, but then we bring her back. But, like, most people in Endgame don't die in my DR, because I didn't want them to. But if you are someone who's shifting to the MCU, and you're like, I don't see another way for Endgame to be solved without Tony and Natasha dying and Steve going back in time, then leave it. It's gonna happen in one version of reality. Like, just because you script that it doesn't happen doesn't mean it keeps the characters from dying in every single reality.
Mm-hmm. Guys, I'm not going to invite Maddie after this because we have different opinions. No, just kidding.
We're done. This is the final episode. Yeah. No more.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm someone who, like, where if I can't find, like, a good loophole, or if I feel like their death can be, like, inevitable, is that the right word? Their death can be, like, inevitable, like Loki's. I scripted Loki Lives because I thought that his death was pointless.
Reversible.
And...
Not inevitable. Inevitable means, like, it was always gonna happen.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I am inevitable. Snap. Yeah, like, people where I feel like, I don't want to say that their death is pointless, like, to the plot, but, like, because sometimes, like, authors just throw in deaths whenever they're not needed, but, like, Loki, like, didn't need to die, and, like, I feel like I'm gonna get some arguments from this. In Harry Potter, the only person I scripted to live was Fred. I really debated on Sirius. I may change that once I get there and decide to keep Sirius alive, but as of right now, I do have Sirius dying because he dies for the greater good. But I did script Fred to live.
This might be why you kicked me out. I didn't keep Sirius alive because I didn't care when he died. That's my unpopular Harry Potter opinion of the moment. I didn't care when he died. I was not particularly affected. And I thought it was a good character development moment for Harry. I feel like I'm gonna get attacked for that one.
I agree. I didn't cry in any of the deaths in Harry Potter. In the movies, at least. In the movies, they're not, like, sad. In the books, like, they're, like, tearjerkers, man. Fred's is really depressing in the books, by the way.
Fred's is so bad.
Oh, God. Just everything that happens in the moment is, like, so sad. We've talked about that in a couple episodes, how Fred's is probably the saddest of, like, the whole series in the books. Because you get to know him really well. I think we talked about it in the Do We Miss Draco Chalk episode, because we talked a lot about the books. Go watch that episode. But in my X-Men DR, like, I scripted out Alex. Oh, sorry, this is spoilers. I scripted out Alex Summers' death because it was pointless. It's just because the actor had to film other stuff. That's why he died.
Yeah.
Plus, so I kept him alive because it's pointless for him to die.
Yeah.
And
I definitely think for characters like Loki, it's super easy to script out their death because that was stupid for him to... There was no reason for him to go after Thanos with a knife.
I know!
I guess Endgame spoilers. I get we're spoiling, like, everything.
I'm just gonna keep saying spoilers before. Spoilers for the Mass Effect trilogy, if you plan on playing it. There are characters who die, and a lot of them die for the greater good. And I could not think of ways to go around them. And I was like, they have to die. They have to die. I'm like, because they're all so important. And I'm like, one of them I debated about taking, or there were two of them. And one of them I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, so I kept it in. The other one was like, he's going to die eventually if he doesn't die now, because he's old. So I'm like, I just have to keep it in. I felt so bad because he dies for the greater good, so I'm like, yeah, that trilogy's sad.
And this is just another instance, I'm gonna say this over and over again, because I've already said it a bunch of times, of where it's like your personal opinion, and it's not something that you can objectively say this is right or wrong. So if you disagree with what either of us are saying, or what anyone on Shifttok says,
eat shit and die.
Okay.
No, just kidding.
I was like, no, that's not the point. The point is, scroll past the video or block the creator. Okay? Don't feel like you have to get into an argument. You're probably not going to change their minds. Again, 9 times out of 10, people have solid reasonings for why they believe what they believe, and a random stranger on the internet is not going to change their mind. Okay? It's not doing anything. It's just a waste of your time, a waste of my time when I have to read stupid comments. Just don't do it.
Yeah, it's honestly really annoying. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just because it's like the internet, people always have to state their opinion compared to everyone else's. And to be honest, no one cares.
No one cares.
Like, no one cares. No one cares. Like, people could listen to, like, my podcast, even though, like, I always give opinions on stuff on here, and, like, so does, like, whatever guest is on here. In reality, no one cares. No one cares about our opinions. No. Like, unless you, like, idolize me for, or, like, and the creator I have on here for some reason, like, don't idolize us, please. That's weird.
No.
Because, like, you don't know. Like, you don't know your creators, like, all that well. Like, all you see is like, through a screen. Yep. We talked about this in the Adults and Minors episode, I think. No, the No Nuance, No Emperor episode, I think we talked about this. Both were with Emily, sorry, so that's why I got confused.
Yeah.
But, like, you don't know. All you see is, like, what the creator wants you to see. So,
exactly.
It's generally always going to be good things, unless they talk about, like, struggles. But don't idolize us. Thanks.
And this is, again, kind of a side topic, but also make sure that if you wouldn't ask a question directly to a person's face, you're not going to ask it in a comment section. I had someone come into my live today and ask me a very inappropriate question about my DR. Like, highly inappropriate. I can't believe they even typed the words and hit send and thought it was okay.
Can you tell me it after this?
I guess I will. Because it's a funny story in context. Now it's funny. At the time, I got beet red, super embarrassed, and almost quit my life. Because if you wouldn't say it to someone's face, saying it over the internet is not any better. We're real people back here. Really real-time reacting to your comments. Like, don't ask people about their sex lives. Don't do it. Unless they're volunteering that information. Don't ask, because you don't need to know. It's a real reality with real people. And you don't need to know everything that's going on.
And my sister made a good point whenever I was on live, like, a week ago. So, Kieran, if you're watching this, thanks for this, your wonderful info. It's a good point that if you're an adult making stuff, and, like, if you talk about that you're going to create not safe for work stuff, and minors are still following you, you could technically, quote-unquote, still get in trouble. So that's why a lot of people choose not to talk about it, and they prefer if you're 18 plus following them. Also because TikTok has weird guidelines. So it's weird. Also, so many people aren't comfortable talking about, like, any kind of sex life. Like, they only want to talk about it with their friends, or would rather not share it with anyone.
especially not with the whole internet.
Yeah.
Like, just because it's happening in a different reality, it's still just as real as if it was happening here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you going up to some random celebrity couple in this reality and asking them inappropriate questions.
How is his
you
dick?
Wouldn't do that. Yeah. Okay, that was the question that they asked me on live today. I'm like, just you saying that, and it was worse because I was actively channeling Colin, and Colin was there seeing all the comments too. Colin Bridgerton, if anyone cares. I don't know if you're gonna keep this in or not.
Dude, I'm gonna keep the comment part in because I'll keep it in. Otherwise, I can't get rid of it.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. Go for it. But I was actively channeling Colin Bridgerton, who the question was, like, directed at. And he got so mad. I got so mad. I went on, like, a 10-minute rant about it. A bunch of people left my live because they were like, this is not what I signed up for. I was so mad. I was like, who do you think you are asking me that? And they knew that I was channeling Colin. So they knew that he could see it, too. I was like, who do you think you are? I don't even know you. And then they tried to tell me that shifting was fake. I was like, why are you asking me all these questions then if you don't think shifting is real? What is the point?
They were definitely just playing with the shifting is fake. They were just trying to play it off after getting yelled at.
Trying to get out of it.
Shifting isn't real.
Yeah. I was like, 1, leave my life, or 2, come up with a better excuse. You were asking me all these questions. They were asking me really great questions about my DR before they threw that one in. And so they genuinely, I feel like, wanted to know, but then they asked something inappropriate, and they were like, just kidding, I don't believe in it, haha. Like, just go away.
Oh my god.
I don't even know how we got on this conversation.
It's because I said the celebrity thing, and then I asked how is it?
Yeah. I can't believe that was exact wording, too. That's so funny. And it just happened to me today. I'm so glad. I was not glad when it happened, but I'm glad I now have this story to talk about for the internet.
Listen up, production project. Do you guys hear that story that Maddie just told? Well, congratulations. If you weren't welcome. Yeah, if you weren't at the live, now you got to hear it.
It's like you were.
Yeah. You guys should feel lucky that you got to hear it.
Yes. I was not planning on talking about it. I probably would have made a friends only video about it if I remembered, but I didn't until right now. So
you should still make a friends only video about it.
I will. I'll write it down so I don't forget.
Do you have any other thoughts on anything?
Let's see. I have a lot of thoughts on a lot of things, but anything like topically relevant. I think another thing about idolizing your DRs, something that you can also be guilty of and that I have been guilty of doing is idolizing your CR and making it feel like it's really hard to shift to your DR because you're somehow more connected to your CR. And personally, I don't think that's true. I do understand that it is harder to shift for the first time than to shift back from your DR. But I wish I could remember the creator, but someone made a video talking about if we can take our CR off of a pedestal and just, if everyone says it's so much easier to shift back from your DR to your CR, just imagine this is your DR and you're shifting back to your CR. Like, this reality that we're in right now is not any better or different or more important than any reality that you've scripted or that you imagine going to. They're all just little realities in the multiverse, if you believe in the multiverse theory. And I think that's really eye-opening to understand. I don't think I've fully grasped it yet, but try not to idolize your CR either and make it seem like a big deal, because it's really not.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I feel like I know what video you were talking about. Wait, how much? Like, did the video have like a lot of likes?
I think I reposted it when it only had like 1,000 views, so it definitely could have gotten more. I feel like it should have gotten more.
Wait, hang on. Because I think I saw the video yesterday. Wait, I'm gonna find it. Wait, you reposted it? Is it gonna show up on your account then?
I don't think so. I don't really know what happens to a video when you repost it. I'm gonna be completely honest.
I don't either. Because I just saw a video.
Sometimes random videos have reposted by so-and-so, and half the time it's not someone that I even follow. So I don't really understand how that works.
Is it this one?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I was like, there was also this one by the same creator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was like, it's by, if anyone wants to see the video, it's by Layla of Asgard. Scroll down a bit, you see apply the don't put your DR in a pedestal idea, and then the one before it is like the caution sign, a shifting thing. Watch both of those videos.
Yes, I really liked those videos. And I've thought about it before, about how your CR, your original reality, current reality, whatever you want to call it, is just another reality, but it didn't really sink in until I saw that video. And I think it's just something really cool to think about when thinking about, like, idolizing realities.
Mm-hmm. Oh, last thing, off topic. Can we talk about how many people are shifting right now? Like, hot shifter...
Can we talk about it? Can we talk about
hot
it?
shifter summer. It's like icing everywhere.
Liz shifted for a full day today. I don't know if you saw that.
I don't follow Liz. I have seen, like, her little updates and stuff. I'm proud, like, a proud mom moment. Like, everyone is shifting.
Yeah.
Hot shifter summer. Like, it makes me so happy and excited that everyone is doing it. Like, I feel so... I don't know why I feel like a proud mom.
Yeah. One of my old mutuals, we're not mutuals anymore because I found out that she was like 15, which is fine. I just felt weird about it. But she mini shifted for the first time, and I saw her video on my For You page. I was like, I'm so proud of you. She was like, I was only there for 20 seconds, but I was like, you still shifted. And I'm so proud that more people are calling, quote, mini shifts shifting experiences, because that's what they are. That's what they are. Even if you're in your DR for like 10 seconds, you still shifted there.
Yeah.
And so many people are doing it.
That's why that's
so
why I'm
happy.
glad we're switching too, because I don't like the term mini shifting. I talked about this on a podcast episode. I don't remember which one, about why I don't like the term mini shifting, because it's become like a huge like spectrum, and whenever people say that, I don't know what they mean. So I'm glad that like we're switching back to like something easier, so I know what they're talking about.
Yes. I love when people say, I shifted. Then they'll say, like, it was only 20 seconds, but I still shifted. I'm like, yeah, you did. You shifted.
Stop.
You go.
I'm
proud of you.
The fact that you just said something about Liz, and I check a group chat I'm in, and the top comment says, do you guys hear that Liz shifted?
Yeah. Liz shifted to Hogwarts for a full day. I literally just followed Liz today, but I've been seeing her update videos, and she mini shifted, or shortly shifted to The Walking Dead a couple of times, to Hogwarts a time or two, and then today, and she's been trying as long as I have. So it just made me feel a lot more motivated. I was like, we can do this.
Yeah, I saw it at the very beginning whenever she shifted to like her Walking Dead DR for like a little bit. Yeah. And then I saw the Hogwarts one where she woke up in the room, and like the kind of the same thing happened. I should go watch her video after we're done filming this about the Hogwarts thing. But that's so awesome.
I don't know that she's made like an update about it. I know she posted this morning just like a paragraph saying I shifted to Hogwarts, and it was so sweet. I don't know if there was an actual update video to that.
Wait, was it just like a TikTok video or like on her story? Like a TikTok story?
I don't have stories, so I don't know. They all just show up as TikTok videos for me. TikTok hates me.
Okay, yeah, I'll go look at her account after this then. But no, that's so awesome. It's, like, everyone is shifting. That's all I have to say. If you haven't shifted yet, you're going to shift this summer, and that's all that matters.
I know that people are saying, like, there's something in the air, and I've said that too, or, like, there's some kind of vibe going on. I think it's more so that we're all getting incredibly confident in our own abilities. And I think that is the best thing that has come out of Shifttok as a community, is the sense of random people who have never seen your account before, when you say, I shifted, are so proud of you. And they comment, and they share your video, and they're so happy for you. And I think just seeing everyone's accomplishments is building this like mass confidence that we can shift, and that's what's really making people shift, not something about summer or the air or whatever.
Exactly. So many people say congratulations whenever other people shift, and I'm also one of those people. Even if I don't follow them, I say congratulations. Like, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
They should be so proud of themselves.
Yes. I mostly will like and comment. The only ones that I only like are when people shift to their Bridgerton DRs, because I'm not at the point where I can't be jealous of people getting to their Bridgerton DRs. I wish I was, and I will like their video, and I am proud of them, but I don't have it in me to comment and say congratulations, because I am bitter. I'm a bitter person when it comes to people shifting to Bridgerton. Not even gonna lie.
Another person, or another mutual of mine, was like, is it bad that I'm starting to get jealous of Courtney's Stranger Things story times because I'm trying to shift to Stranger Things? She's like, I'm not even mad. I just wanna be there.
Yeah. I met someone on, I think it was Angel's Live this morning, and the person was like, I was telling Angel about how I was channeling Colin, and someone said, I finally found another Colin shifter. And I was like, ugh. Like, that's awful of me, because I know it's a whole different person. They're both called Colin, but literally I was like, are you kidding me? Because I never see anyone shifting for Colin, and I get so jealous if I do. I had to unfollow Nicola Coughlan, who plays Penelope in the show, because she was posting so many pictures and memes about Penelope and Colin, and I was like, I'm bitter. I can't do it.
You really have, like, a gun to their head, and they're like...
I really do. Several people today have told me that they can't picture Colin with anyone but me, and that is just, like, a huge ego booster for me. It makes me feel so much better.
Did you ever get that, like, profile picture by, like, the person that...
No, but the person that I commissioned it from is in the same Discord server as I am, and apparently they've got a bunch of, like, finals and exams coming up, so they were like, it's probably going to take a little bit longer, and I still have to finish 1 or 2 other commissions. I was like, don't worry about it.
Wait, and it's going to be a Bridgerton
I'm
run,
excited
right?
for when it happens. Yeah. I'm excited.
I've always wanted to get commissioned artwork, because people are so good at art. Like, if... Yes. I have a couple mutuals who are really good at art, and, like, part of me is like, I want to get commissioned art from them, but other part of me is like, no, I shouldn't.
Yeah. Well, like, I have no problem spending money on, like, channeled letters from the World of Maya and Melody Pond 248's Etsy shop. I've bought 3 of those things, and they are expensive, but for some reason, when it comes to buying people's artwork, I'm like, maybe it's too expensive. It's just like a digital artwork. I'm gonna love this thing. I'm gonna use it for the rest of my life. It is so worth it, but for some reason it took me a hot minute to decide to spend money on it.
I would love to get...
Don't know why.
I would love to get, like, commissioned artwork of, like, all my DR selves and, like, put them together, and, like,
yes!
That would be so cute.
That would be so fun.
Oh my goodness. I'm just, like, smiling thinking about that.
Yes! I wish I was someone who could draw, so I could just do it myself.
Me too.
But I'm not.
But, like, if I were to, like, attempt to draw on, like, Procreate or something, I would create, like, an egg. A stick person.
I have Procreate. I mostly use it for hand lettering, but I occasionally will try to draw. And I always think it's going to be a lot better than it ends up being.
Your mind creates,
bad.
like, some cool, like, Vincent Van Gogh thing, and then you try to create it, and you're like, what is this?
Exactly.
Alright, any last thoughts?
I don't think so. I think we had a fun conversation, a good conversation.
Tons of important things.
I could do one last spiel of opinions are opinions, but I won't do that again. See previous parts of the podcast for shifting opinions are opinions. Be nice to people on the internet. Final word of warning.
Re-listen to the whole episode to get our opinions, and then come back to this, and then re-listen to it again, and then no, just kidding. Like, don't do that.
A few times to really get it in your brain.
Yeah, to really get it in there.
Definitely not to boost any kind of views on Spotify.
I don't even know how, like, if it would do that.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Like, it just posts on Spotify, and then I leave it alone.
Valid.
Anyway.
But yeah, date who you want to date.
Date.
You do you. Live your best life.
If you want to date, date. If you want to live your life, live your life.
Yes. We're so good at this. This is such great advice.
I'm really good at wrapping up the podcast. I'm really good at transitioning, and I'm really good at ending the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, even though I talked about this on another podcast, but we can still see each other while filming. Yeah, I shook my head no. I'm really bad at all those things. Anyway, this has been this wonderful episode with Maddie. That's it. Goodbye. I don't know.
Goodbye.
I can't end a podcast anymore.